Swami Namaste Nirvishesha Shunya Shacharisha Tarini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashtacharisha Jaya Shri Krishna Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasha Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Second part of this thing. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is a tune that Prabhupada gave for the Gaur-Arti evening kirtan. That tune is in 3 parts. And usually when he finished the kirtan, I know this isn't a kirtan standards course, we already did that a while back, but when he finished the kirtan, he didn't do a lot of jai this, jai that, Hari Hari Bos, he just finished the kirtan. And then he would go, Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Satara Sata Shishyamat, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, because he's glorifying his own spiritual master. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Oh, by the way, when we're doing the kirtan, those who are very enthusiastic, they get more points towards the Bhakti Shastri.
Oh, yes.
Point to be noted.
Hare Krishna. You want me to say something?
Yes, you are
Okay.
going to.
Om Jnana Timananda Shah. We offer our respectful obeisances unto our spiritual master. That's why we do Om Jnana. For those who are not disciples of Prabhupada, in General Assembly, we don't say the pranam mantra to our own guru, but we say it by Om Jnana. And of course, we can include Srila Prabhupada, but then we say Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna
Mati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Chanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Vishesh Jai.
We always say Jai Shri Krishna
Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
There are other prayers, but those are the three basic ones. To the Guru, to Prabhupada, and to your aspiring Guru, or even if you don't have a spiritual master still. So we're very fortunate that Harinishta has returned to Vancouver. She spent a number of years here a while back, but maybe 10 years ago, maybe now.
Yeah,
About 10
exactly.
years ago. She was here with her family, and she's returned to Vancouver. And by her enthusiasm, capability, and mostly her enthusiasm for education, she has brought together the idea of having a Bhakti Shastri class locally, because there are many devotees that would love to take Bhakti Shastri. I've always been an advocate of doing these courses in each individual temple rather than doing it online, or even going to other places like mine. Where Prabhupada wanted his organization to be decentralized, and decentralized also means education-wise. But even though it's decentralized, there is a universal course. Just like each center was autonomic, but at the same time, Prabhupada appointed governing body commissioners to make sure that all the centers were on board in regard to the spiritual standards. So in the same way, the standard of Bhakti Shastri is universal, but we're conducting it locally. And we have a very qualified person to do this, and that's Harinishta. She has got her Bhakti Shastri degree. She's got her teaching degree, certified through the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The Bhakti Shastri course is actually, I don't know if it still is, but is affiliated with what university in
Mumbai? No, Cambridge.
No, in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cambridge.
Yeah, Cambridge. Yeah.
So it's a very, in a sense, it's a prestigious degree. Prabhupada wanted the devotees to take courses and actually have official degrees, receive official degrees. So this one is a postgraduate study. It's the Bhakti Shastri. It comprises of 4 books, the basic 4 books, Bhagavad Gita, the first few chapters of Nectar of Devotion. We have them there. You can hold it up. Nectar of Devotion. You can just hold it up.
Oh, sorry.
Nectar of Devotion. Not the whole Nectar Devotion. The Nectar Devotion is divided into 4. I think we do the first part. First, they're called waves. And then we have the Nectar of Instruction by Rupa Goswami and the Sri Ishupanishad, the primary Ishupanishad. And I believe we're starting with the Bhagavad Gita course. So that's what the course comprises of. It's a serious course. It's not just based, the course isn't just based on academic qualification. It's not that you just take the course and you get Bhakti Shastri degree. There's also part of the course, in order you have to be engaged in some devotional service, attending certain programs at the temple, these sort of things. It's also application, not just academic. Because Prabhupada often said, we're not armchair philosophers. And then he gave the example of the elite social clubs of the British during the time of British rule in India, sitting in big chairs, smoking cigars and talking Vedanta. That's not what, that's not our business. Our business is to learn about Krishna, learn about the philosophy of Krishna and the application of Krishna and apply it. So that's the idea behind the Bhakti Shastri. My role is basically just a pretty face. That's it. And the main role is Harinishta, as I said earlier. It's by her enthusiasm, endeavor that she's arranged for the Bhakti Shastri course. Encourage all of you to come and participate. We're anxious to take the course. And I think that's about all I have to say in regard to the introduction. So on to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody who came. Yeah, actually, this was and is the desire of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. When Prabhu is talking, I remembered Krishna as Paramatma in the heart is always giving us remembrance and forgetfulness. So I remember meeting His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj around 2017 or 16. And Maharaj mentioned to me, I mean, I never asked about teaching. He told me if to study Bhakti Shastri and teach here. And after a while, you know, when sadhu gives an instruction, they also give you the blessing, they empower you. And somehow my life path has, my journey has kind of directed towards, I ended up in Mayapur teaching in the international school. And at the same time, I was able to do these courses. And somehow I was to start this course in Mauritius. But just the last minute, Krishna's arrangement, Krishna's plan, I ended up here.
Fortunately, lucky us. Lucky us.
And that was also, if you know, Bhakti Sundar Chaitanya Maharaj, who came to visit. While I was informing him that I'm not going to teach Bhakti Shastri in Mauritius, I have to go to Vancouver. That was the ultimate reason that he was able to visit. Yeah. So see, Bhakti Shastri is, we can do many service, pujari, and all these things can be done. But if we go, can you put the Bhakti Shastri? Remember the, yeah. Hare Krishna. We have 3 devotees on Zoom line. Yeah. So. No, not this one. The standards. So if we go through, I'm not going to go through it too precisely. That's Prabhupada's desire. And Prabhupada wants devotees to develop Brahminical qualities. And just being here, present here, that means somewhere you have this Brahminical quality to study. And as I mentioned, my mood here, the moment you step in, you're going to be student and you're going to be teacher side by side. So entering here as a student, you will have to leave here as teachers. Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna Updesh. In any capacity, what to speak of if you're holding a Bhakti Shastri degree. So that should be the mood. Like Prabhupada, for all Brahmins, I am suggesting the following examination Bhakti Shastri based on Bhagavad Gita, Sri Upanishad, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, and all the small paper packs. So that's for Bhakti Shastri. And when you will study, we'll realize how Prabhupada, from nectar, you know, when Yashodamai was to give Krishna the milk or make the butter, he chose among the cows, he chose the best cows to get the best milk to make butter. So there's a reason why Prabhupada chose these 4 books. And as we'll study, we'll see how it's all about nectar. They're full of gems. And it's here for us. Me also, I'm thankful to you all to engage me in this service. I'm just going to share what I learned. It's not that I'm here, no. We are all together. We'll be learning from each other. and imparting knowledge, whatever we know. And very humbly, I'm very happy that Jai Govind Prabhu has agreed, has accepted to be helping with the facilitation. Remember, we are not teaching, we are facilitating. Facilitating means it will be very interactive, intimate. Nobody has to feel inferior, I cannot speak, I cannot, no. So that mode we'll have here. And together we'll be on the journey. Ishwari Mataji just told me last minute she had an emergency. She couldn't join, but surely she's joining next week. So about the exam and about the Bhakti Shastri, yes, Jai Govind Prabhu did mention, like, it's, can you scroll? We do have to have certain, at least we should be practicing devotees. Because we have courses for beginners, but this is, I guess, everybody's practicing. We have this nishtha in Krishna, steadiness in our bhakti. So, I mean, everybody is chanting, at least Bhakti Shastri recommends at least we are chanting 16 rounds daily. Is still, yeah, stop here, yeah. It's still, I mean, if you're not able to chant 16 rounds, Bhakti Shastri will help us, will help everybody. Rest, don't be discouraged. We will work on, you will see how Krishna will open the path for us to ultimately come to our 16 rounds, and not just chanting, but very attentively. You will see the difference. One thing I can tell you, after the Bhakti Shastri course, you're going to leave from here being more conscious of Krishna. More conscious in your heart, in your mind, in your daily activities. And regarding the exams, I will go in detail later. And the pre-qualification, I think everybody has a little bit of glimpse of Srila Prabhupada's mode and mission. Is to spread Krishna consciousness, help people out from their miserable condition. And there are some questions I will ask later, objective for you to take Bhakti Shastri. For now, we're trying to set the mood, our consciousness in studying Bhakti Shastri. And also, I assume that you have a list of books that you have already read so far by Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada Lila Amrit is one of the books that is very appealing, and Jai Govind Prabhu has been facilitating Prabhupada Lila Amrit since long time. So this is something you can have in your heart, in your mind, as a Bhakti Shastri student. Because, you know, if we tell we love Prabhupada, we love ISKCON, and then we don't know about Srila Prabhupada in depth, then our love is being questioned. So regarding,
if I may interject,
yeah,
it's very important to know about Srila Prabhupada. And with Krishna, you know, Krishna's pastimes and Krishna are transcendental, or Chaitanya and his pastimes are transcendental. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, pure devotee, who was empowered by Krishna and prophesied to spread the Krishna consciousness movement, is also completely transcendental. And hearing about his Leela, say Leela, is as uplifting and as purifying and as beneficial as it is to hear about Lord Chaitanya or Lord Krishna or Lord Ram or any of the more, let's say, popular stories, pastimes of the Lord and his incarnations.
Yeah, my teachers mentioned in my Bhakti Bible, that's the study of Srimad Bhagavatam class. He mentioned, see, now we have this Srimad Bhagavatam. There is the pastimes of different Krishna's pastime of his devotees. In the future, in the 10,000 years to come, there might be Bhagavatam that Prabhupada will be mentioned as one of the devotees of Krishna and Prabhupada's pastimes. And Bhakti Charu Maharaj, devotees try to think, who is Prabhupada? Prabhupada is a Shakti Avatar, like empowered. But then Bhakti Charu Maharaj said, I think it's an, I don't know exact word, but it's an insult. He used that word. I think it's an insult to limit Prabhupada at the level of Satyavesha Avatar. This is something that Bhakti Charu Maharaj said.
There's no doubt. Another thing is that we have a particular disciplic line, parampara, it comes from Brahma, to Madhvacharya. And so we're known as the Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya, being a certain land of where the Lord Chaitanya was, Sampradaya. And we can probably ascertain that will be known as Brahma, Madhava, Bhaktivedanta, Sampradaya. His name will be very prominent.
Yeah. So here about Prabhupada, and definitely when we'll start teaching, Mangalacharan is going to be very important. And definitely we need Prabhupada's blessing. And so to continue, I would like, it's good like we introduce each other and little bit about your journey in Krishna consciousness. Not too much, but a few minutes. That's, yeah. So whoever wants to start, feel free.
Is it possible to take this off the screen?
Yeah,
Because we can only see a little picture of you, and
okay.
Can we take that down, just the sharing off, just for a minute?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll.
There you go.
So Mother Bhavani.
Yes.
Can everybody on the Zoom line hear us properly?
Only when you turn the camera. I can't see them now because I'm just looking at you now.
Yeah.
And it's hard to hear them.
So Fix, can you?
I don't know if you can get more volume or you have an external.
We'll see. It depends on the mic, on the what they have. Yeah, volume. Okay, so turn
the camera.
Yeah, because everybody is going to
Can you also put the devotees that are online, put it instead of the green of us.
Now, for the time being, when you are all speaking, they will see who is speaking.
And they'll also see what
Can
we
we
see
do
on the
that?
main screen.
No, because if we put them, they won't be able to see us. We'll be small.
Really?
Yeah, we can only.
That's
That's not right.
You've got this maximized. I mean, is this Zoom?
Yeah, you control our own view, but they control their individual view on Zoom. So if you put it in gallery view, they can each pick whatever view they want.
It is okay.
Yeah, it doesn't affect their view.
Just remove the pin from the screen. Like then whosoever will speak, his camera will be shown.
Okay. Yeah, 1 second.
No, just
In the top right corner, probably.
for the black.
See where it says view in the top right corner?
There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Yes.
Is that better, Mother Bhavani?
I can hear you, but I can't hear you very loud since the camera's been turned.
Audio setting, is there something you can do?
That's because the mic's on the
Okay.
camera.
Okay.
You need to speak too.
So we'll try to speak a little louder for now, and we'll try to fix the volume problem. Okay. So on the Zoom line, we have Mother Bhavani, Shudanshu, if you know, he was here recently. Charandeep is also one of the devotees who is still on the temple property, but presently is in India. I just got hold of him today. You know Charandeep?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And Krishna Shanti Mataji, you. Hare Krishna Charandeep Prabhu. And Krishna Shanti Mataji, she's always in the temple in the morning. Okay, so we can start introducing.
To make it
Yes.
simple, why don't
Yeah.
we do clockwise and we can start with Fernando?
Okay.
That way we don't have to see who's gonna come first, who's
I
gonna.
know. It's gonna come. Yeah.
Okay, I came to knowledge of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's when I was working on a cruise line, and lady in a sari handed out a beautiful book with lots of pictures, magnificent story of life, and I just got hooked. But I've been on and off the path that you don't need to know. But my interest was to go back home, back
Which home?
to God head. How you say that? I don't know.
Yes, back home, back to Godhead. Very
Yeah.
good.
So that's in very briefly my adventure. Eventually you can get to know me closer. I will refer to you a story of what happened to me and why I'm here. But for the moment, I think I just want to be brief.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fernando Prabhu. Since he's here, he's very dedicated in serving, very have this devotional mood. And the moment I told him we're going to do Bhakti Shastri, he's studying every day and he's coming. Mataji, I learned this today, I learned this today.
I'm a child in my heart.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
My name is Geeta, and I am the Krishna consciousness because my mother was involved back home and everything else.
Thank you.
Hi Krishna, everyone. My name is Malika. I am a second generation devotee from birth. I was born and raised here at the temple in Burnaby, and I have been away for a few years, but I'm back and I'm very happy to be here. And this is my mom. My name is Mahashakti, and I have been initiated I was initiated by Gopal Krishna Maharaj in Toronto in 1984. And how I became a devotee is a great incentive for book distributors, because in Quebec, where I live in Montreal, one day my brother brought a bunch of books. He said he found these books and just donated them to me. He knew I loved to read, and among those books was the Bhagavad Gita. And right away I was attracted to that one book. And that's the one I read, and I read it from cover to cover, and then I joined the temple after that. So it's incredible.
My name is Dawn Leah. I came to Krishna consciousness about just over 4 years ago, I guess, and I was attracted at a Rath Yatra and wanted to know a bit more. So came to Janmashtami, and then after speaking to a couple of devotees and to Jai Govinda, then I started Krishna book class, September 11th, 2018, and that hooked me in. And I read memoirs from Vishaka Devidasi, and from that I started to develop an affection for Srila Prabhupada, and then there was no turning back.
Hare Krishna.
My name is Jai Govinda, and I've been trying to become a devotee for many decades.
This should be hideout and
I joined as a single man, was in the Brahmacharya ashram and various services, doing the Sankirtan at the time, collecting and then streets Harinam and training the new bhaktas, managing the kitchen, managing a preaching center. So many different things. And mostly I did it because by default, there wasn't anybody else to do it. So I was very surrendered at the time. Whatever was asked of me, I would do it. And now by the kindness of Harinishta, she's asked me to, I guess, oversee, be a bit of a figurehead for the connection of this with the Bhaktivedanta or the Bhaktivedanta Institute. And so, Hare Krishna, here I am.
Yeah, Prabhu, Govinda Prabhu is going to be facilitating specifically the nectar of Sri Upanishad, and also we'll work out together how we'll share the load of the other books and the modules of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, so it's all. I announce it. So Jai Govind Prabhu.
So that means I'm obligated now. Thank you very much.
If you needed that, Jai Govinda.
Sorry, Mother Bhavani.
If Jai Govinda needed to be obligated to do it, because he would have wanted to have done it anyway.
What did you say?
You would have wanted to do it anyway.
Anyway, if you hadn't been obligated to do it, you wouldn't have wanted to do it.
Yes, Leelananda Prabhu. Thank you, Paul.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
To talk about myself. So I received the name Leelananda Das in Edmonton when I got initiated in 1982. I joined here in Vancouver in the summer of 1980. And it was a different era at that time. So to speak, different era. Different. It was a Harinam being conducted by the member Nirantara.
Nirantara, yes.
Yes, there was the yoga center on Thurlow.
That's where I came in also.
That was a beautiful place. It's just too bad we couldn't keep at this place. There was a Govinda restaurant at the bottom and the yoga center at the second floor. There was really quite hectic days. So I was attracted by so many people say, well, like Mashakti, she got a book. In my case, it's the sound of the Harinam, the Yuga Dharma. That was really very impactful on me at the time. And revived my Krishna consciousness from my previous life in a fraction of a second. Very well. It was quite impactful. So I miss going on Harinam. It was for so many years. I went with Veda Vyas, Sankirtan leader, and he was organizing Harinam. I miss those days. It was really fantastic. Harinam is really like a bhakti, I can say. And also reading, I love reading Bhagavatam. Is my sustenance, my spiritual food. So, thank you. Harinishta she's pushing me to. So it's in many cases one can become a devotee by the mercy of the Vaishnavas. It's not on your own that you can do it. If you have the blessings of the Vaishnava,
Okay.
it really helps a lot. It is really crucial. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we miss those days because we were in our youth and we miss our youth.
The soul is always with us. So yes, Vishnu.
Everyone, please I offer my humble obeisance to each one of you. On yours to Srila Prabhupada. So the way I came to Krishna consciousness is 5-6 years back. I was working as a software engineer in Bangalore in Amazon. So I was not liking my job, and I was lost in life, and I didn't have a goal in life. And at the time, I went to ISKCON temple in Bangalore, and they handed me a book called Science of Self-Realization. So I was going through the book, and I felt it was amazing. Like, I've never heard a person who was able to defeat every materialistic idea on the planet, and who was clear cut, like, the goal of life is Krishna. You have to go back to Krishna, and you have to become a devotee. This is the only goal of life. You can be happy only in this way. So the message was very clear, and it was very convincing. So I thought, yeah, this is what I'm looking for, and I'm lost so many days. So then I started becoming a bit more serious, reading Prabhupada's books and hearing his lectures. And for me personally, if you would say what was more inspiring is hearing Prabhupada's personal audio lectures and video lectures transformed me a lot. And then it's purely the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Vaishnavas. So that's why I'm here. Otherwise, it's impossible. Thank you.
We all here by the mercy of a devotee, one way or the other. Yeah, thank you, Vishnu Prabhu. And I would like to add, I mean, I'm not so good with computer technology, but very mercifully, Vishnu Prabhu and Arjun, they worked hard for days to make sure laptop is working, everything is set up. So I really appreciate the service. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
I'm Mukunda Madhava Prabhu. I came into contact with Krishna consciousness, I guess, about 5 or 6 years ago. It was actually longer than that. I think about 10 years ago, I went to a Rath Yatra, and I didn't know what it was though at the time. I didn't know it was Krishna consciousness. I just had a great time with the cart, and the kirtan blew my mind. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I came across the Journey Home by Radha Swami Maharaj, and his book blew my mind because I was on a similar path of just trying to find my relationship with God again. I was raised Catholic, and through different events in my life, I kind of lost my relationship with God along the way. And I knew he was there, I just didn't know where he was in my life. And so when I read this book, I was in this similar place of just trying to find how he could best communicate with me. And I'm a chef by trade, and I love BC I love foraging, and I love the seasonality and everything. And so I was looking up eco villages, and I happened to find Sharanagati, and they had a similar course actually to this. It was like a Gita introduction course, and then they were going to go to Ishapanishad. And I was like, oh, well, this will be a great introduction. And I clicked on the link, and it literally took me to a class that day. Like they just started the class for 5 minutes.
Wow.
And so then I met Damodar Prabhu up there. And like everyone is saying, by the mercy of Vaishnavas, it's just kind of been a roller coaster since then. I started coming to the temple, and then I started, during that time, I guess it started opening back up. So there was more gurus coming into town. I luckily met His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj pretty quickly, and had a really nice connection with him immediately. I guess about after 6 months, I asked for shelter with him. And I luckily, I think similar to Leelananda Prabhu, I already had a taste for chanting. So when I found the Maha Mantra, it was like, just everything went into hyperdrive. And so I got up to 8 rounds pretty quickly. And then after 8, as I'm sure you all know, it kind of gradually kind of happens pretty quickly after that. And yeah, so about a year ago in June now, I took initiation, and we had our daughter as well the same month, about a week after my initiation. And yeah, Krishna's just been arranging this just to happen so quickly. And so even like this, I asked Maharaj what he wanted me to do next, and he advised me to check out Bhakti Shastri, and I was already looking online. But like people said, I didn't really want to do online. I wanted it in person. And 2 days later, Mataji, I found out she was giving the course. And so once again, Krishna just kind of arranged it all. So I'm so happy to be here with everybody. I wasn't expecting so many people. So this is, I'm really excited about all this. And I'm so happy you're facilitating in this as well. So this, it adds another extra dimension. And Mataji, your classes have always been so inspirational. When you're in Mauritius, I always loved your classes. So it's just been phenomenal how this is all arranged this way. So yeah, all by Krishna's mercy. So Hare Krishna.
My Guru Maharaj blessing.
Very
Hare Krishna, everyone. I'm Dipansh. Basically, I belong from India. So my story is like I'm a little bit blessed that I was born in such a family where Krishna consciousness was followed by ancestors. And though my mother is from Vrindavan, and I like from the very first day, like from when I was born, I was put into Krishna consciousness. I have been to Gurukul in Vrindavan for like 6-7 months, and then I was in Gurukul, Rohini. So it's in Delhi. So I've been there for 3 years, but I was part-time there because that Gurukul wasn't started full-fledged. And so yeah, I like I got my taste, like I had my taste, but that taste enhanced when I came to know more about how we have to practice Krishna consciousness and what's the standard we have to follow and everything. And then luckily I got the association here as well. So I'm grateful to Harinishta Mataji, everyone, Jai Govinda Prabhu, and every devotee here that they are like facilitating and arranging everything for us, so we don't feel it's like they are making new Vrindavan here as well. So it's grateful to them. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Mhm.
Hare Krishna, my name is Aryan. As many devotees are here, so I don't think so. I'm any devotee. I am the most sinful in this class.
We need
I'm-
fallen soul.
yeah, I'm the most fallen soul, so I don't think so I can give any kind of more introduction. I'm the most sinful among all the sitting here. I don't think so I would have. There's any place I should sit here, but as Mataji gave this opportunity, that most fallen souls can also can be given a shelter here. So I'm here, otherwise I would be outside. As this is my introduction.
Well,
Yeah.
Aryan he has a very beautiful, innocent heart. And when I told him, Aryan, I'm going to teach Bhakti Shastri, yes, Mataji, I'm in. And he's the first one to tell me, Mataji, let's have it on site. I don't want online. And I was like, he was the person who kind of backed me to keep it on site.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and he was like, every time, when are you starting, Mataji? When are you starting? So, see, I'm only an instrument in Krishna's hand. I also sustain my spiritual life with the association of all of you. And nobody is not important. Everybody's important. If everybody is important to Krishna, so how we can understand how important each of us is here to each other.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, my name is Arjun. When I was born, my dad had started around the time, a little before my dad got into Krishna consciousness, and he started chanting and praying, and that's why he named me Arjun. As growing up, I wasn't that devotional, just being a child, but we had one Mataji back home. Her name was Krishna Mai. She used to do these plays, and she'd bring us all on Saturdays, and we used to hate going because we wanted to stay home and play games. But then we used to do dramas, and that's how we got to learn. When I came to Vancouver, when I came to Canada, I came to Manitoba, and I found myself in a very difficult place. And so a mentor of mine told me, like, just go to a quiet place and just pray that whoever you are, whatever you are, I'm in a lot of unrest, and please give me guidance. And I did that, and shortly after, I found myself in Vancouver. I came here during COVID. Temple was closed. I always had love for Krishna, but I didn't know him as this supreme personality. I always thought of him as everyone else does, like demigod, but I had a special connection with him, which I can't explain. So when I came here, it was COVID. I wrote Krishna Temple. I was going to come in the morning. I came in the afternoon. And Manudas Prabhu opened the door. He said, "No one's allowed. Sorry, COVID, go away." Come later. He didn't say go away, but he's like, "You have to wait for COVID." And he closed the door, and another Prabhuji came, and he opened the door and he was going in. And Prabhu was like, "Oh, these are volunteers." I was like, "Prabhu, how do I volunteer?" And so during COVID, for almost 1 year, we used to come every Sunday and clean the temple when no one else was allowed. And at that time, I didn't know anything. So through that and listening to people speak in the background, and you get to learn. And then it was like this person who I call Krishna, who was special to me, is now everyone's calling him God and above everyone. And that's how I got attached to ISKCON.
There you go.
Very nice.
Yeah, so Mother Bhavani.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you perfectly, but I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Is your volume?
Oh, you know what?
Increase the volume.
Yeah. Oh, Krish. Okay, can you speak? We'll see. How
Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. I presume that all means yes. Do you want me to speak now?
Yes, Mother Bhavani.
Well, I've been listening to everybody talking and I can't remember anything really. I have to go, have to go into myself to find out what I did to bring me to this point. So, okay, let's go for it. Many, many years ago, I think it maybe have been in the late 90s, I met up with a devotee from the temple, and she actually had a family business where I lived in Maple Ridge. And it was not that long after I came to Canada. I came to Canada in 1990. And so I spent days with her in her business, in her store when she was supposed to be working. She had a couch in the back and we used to sit there all the time. She used to talk about Krishna all the time. I used to talk about Jesus all the time. And we started reading the different books and we realized the connections. And I got really interested. So she started bringing prasad to Maple Ridge in a bucket on the bus every day. And she started bringing, I actually had prasad and so did my son, whose name's Ragana. So we both got very interested and I'm sure the prasadam helped a lot. And I can't remember when I first came to the temple, but I know that it was about 2006, I think, when I came. And it was just after that my son actually became, he was a brahmachari and he was at the temple for about 8 years. He was a brahmachari at the temple there. And he used to come home every 2 weeks. And we used to have a temple room. We made a temple room where we lived. And we used to have people around and he used to give lectures and stuff there. And so eventually that was it, wanted to live at the temple. So a little while later moved to the temple. I lived there on the property for about 2 years. And during that time, I got very interested in many things. I was on the council for a while. I started a devotee care there under a Vaishnava's care with Sangeeta Devidasi. And we had a few people that we did actually see through. They passed and we cared for them. And then at the same time, around about the same time, I was doing the guest rooms at the temple with my adopted grandson, Marty, who many people will know. And then the later part of that time, I was the principal of the Sunday school. And all these things really, this is where I wanted to live. This is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be caring for people, doing what was possible to get them out of this miserable condition. And particular interest I had was in devotee care. And I still have that now. And the one thing that hasn't manifested is a hospice or something that I wanted to run. for devotees, so that they could live out their life in the way that they'd lived their life with chanting and Krishna, and easily be able to pass when it was their time. And that's still a wish of mine. But I got really interested in knowing more about the philosophy, and I got really involved with Srila Prabhupada. You mentioned one of the books was the Leela Amrita. Well, I've read that and got very, very upset in the second volume. This very long part of that is about the passing of Srila Prabhupada, which affected me immensely. I was quite surprised how much it affected me. But since then, I've wanted to study the books, and I've been in Jai Govinda's classes, studied the books with him. And I heard about Harinishta coming to do the Bhakti Shastri course. And like others of you in that room, I'd been looking into this for quite some time about doing this course, and I really didn't know. And I decided just leave it to Krishna and see what happens. And what happened was that Harinishta came back and she's doing the course that I wanted to do. So everything's falling into place. So I'm really glad to be here today, and I wish I could be down there. Like everyone else says, it's nicer if you're in person, and I think it would be better, but I can't come down and I won't be there. So I'm glad we've got the option to do this online. So thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother Bhavani. Thank you very much.
Excuse me,
Yes,
it's been prearranged by you.
yes, Prabhu. So,
We'll talk about it. Thank you, everyone. Nice to meet you. Such a nice group of students,
to see
fellow teachers.
yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So actually, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, I will hold on with the introduction for a while. Madhavendra Puri Prabhu is a director of New Mayapur Institute. Under the umbrella of New Mayapur Institute, I'm teaching, and we are going to receive our certificate. So he humbly agreed to grace our Bhakti Shastri course. So he's supposed to be online in 1 minute. I'm just checking. What time is it in Paris?
That's a good question.
Okay, I'm like, I was scared if I gave her a wrong time. So
It should be three in the morning, I think.
yes. I mean, it's quite early, but he agreed. So before he joins, I'll give a little. He's okay. Hey. Hare Krishna, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu. Please accept.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can you show
The room?
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Just
yeah.
give us a minute. Yes, like the whole. So we have devotees who are on site.
Hare Krishna. I cannot hear
Okay,
anything.
You can. Okay, we'll adjust the volume. What's that? He's telling he cannot hear us.
Okay, now I can hear. Okay. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, ordered Srila Prabhupada. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. So, is it my turn to speak, or what is it?
Well, I was to give a little bio about you. Can I have a minute for that?
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry.
because I was starting to do so. So we welcome Madhavendra Puri Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Madhavendra Puri Prabhu is disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami. And Prabhu joined ISKCON in 1985 in Paris. And from thereafter, he was involved in book distribution for almost 10 years. So a little bit about the years of service. From 91 to 92, he was involved in saving New Mayapur temple in France. That temple was almost lost to ISKCON. And then in 95, Prabhu moved to Mauritius to teach the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Well, Mauritius is where I am from. I don't know if all of you know about my country of origin. I'm from Mauritius. So Prabhu was there, and I never met Madhavendra Puri Prabhu when he was in Mauritius. And then in 97, Prabhu moved to Mayapur to teach in MIHE and BIHE. In 98, Prabhu was involved in selling Abhay Charan tapes in Toronto and Chicago. And from 1999 to 2000, he launched Divine Food, what is INC? In Durham, and see that I don't know.
It's just like a brand.
Okay.
North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay.
USA.
Yeah. And 2001, Prabhu he moved to Mayapur. And 2002 to 2007, he studied Bhakti Vaibhav under his Burijan Prabhu. And also he did lots of teaching in India and South Africa. 2009, he was back to France, running ISKCON guest house in Paris. And Prabhu has been teaching Bhakti Shastri to students all around the world for the past 30 years. And he's also a teacher at the VIHE presently. And Prabhu is the director of the Vedic Theology Institute, accredited by ISKCON Board of Exam. Yeah, and yes, Prabhu. So, and our Bhakti Shastri, everything that we are going to do, Bhakti Shastri or any other courses, who will be doing under the umbrella of the New Mayapur Institute. So welcome, Prabhu. Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, Dandavat Pranam, Lord Srila Prabhupada. So it looks like it's a big group, huh? I cannot see the size of it, but it looks like a huge group. How big is it? Oh, wow.
Well, we have for 10 years. Well, there is 11 on site and I think 4 online.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. You are a very good recruiting agent, Renishta.
Well, after they introduced them and they gave their realization, I realized that it's the desire that Krishna told me, okay, these devotees are so sincere, you go and serve them in teaching Bhakti Shastri.
Okay. So is Jai Govinda Prabhu there also?
He just left.
Okay.
He just left because we are having a fire sacrifice in the temple.
Okay.
And he has to be there. He was here for the past 1 hour. Yes.
Okay, great. So please accept my obeisances. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Charu Swaminiti Nemine Snigdha Chita Supanita Vaiminam Shah Lasaputam Prabhupada Gata Pramam Nime Bhakti Charu Padam Panchakalpa Turbasha Gripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So I'm very happy to meet all of you. We basically Harinishta is Devida sees has been so much eager to launch this this Bhakti Shastri in Toronto, I mean, in Vancouver, that, I got drawn into her enthusiasms. So not only, I was very much willing to help her out, because in order to teach officially, you need to function under an official institute, so, and of course, I even offered to her in due course of time in ISKCON Vancouver should have your own institute. You can always apply, just like I did myself a few years back. And in due course of time, you guys will have your own, most probably you will have your own Vancouver Institute for Education as given by the Board of Examinations of ISKCON. Anyway, so I don't know how far you have been in this ISKCON society, but you are doing necessarily the very good step here. You are taking a very good step towards intense study, because, as you know, there's a difference between reading and studying. What do you think is the difference between? We can be interactive, I'm not the only person to talk here. So, how would you define the difference between studying and just mere casual reading and intense studying?
I wonder if I can just step in here for a second, because this is something that's been going through my head recently, because the 4 books we're doing on this course, I've read them. I had to read them for my second, I think it was my Brahminical initiation. Okay. And I was saying to myself today, what's the difference between reading and studying? Because I've taken this course because I want to study the books. I read those books and I can't remember a thing in them. And that I believe that this study will concrete things that I've forgotten, because there will be things that I've remembered for a while. And I think the course will actually concrete the things and actually make us see them. I don't see that when we're reading them that we actually see what's behind the words when we read them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When we study them, we're looking at the reason, we're taking them in. So I think they go to a different part of the brain. That's my input.
You're right. It's very true. We basically, you need just like, if for anything, you studied piano, you studied tennis, you may play tennis or play piano casually, but at one point, if you want to deepen the art of playing piano or tennis, whatever, you need a teacher. So in the Gita, it's mentioned as Svadhyaya Yagya. You will, in the 4th chapter, as you know, it's the different yagyas which are defined by Lord Krishna, suiting different types of persons. And one of them is Svadhyaya. Svadhyaya means the Svadhyaya Yagya. So the Yagya, the sacrifice to study. It could be Yagya. It's an austerity in one sense, especially every day. I don't know how much you guys will meet every week or so, but you will see over the years, because once you start, you don't stop. Buddha Prabhu used to tell us that your study are not complete unless and until you start teaching. Teaching is part of the study. So gradually, as you imbibe the knowledge and especially the realization that goes with it, you have to start teaching also. Don't think that there is a big gap between studying and teaching. As you teach, you solidify your learning. So all of you gradually should be facilitated to start also teaching on your side, because that's the way to propagate ISKCON. That's the way to learn, that's the way to propagate. Keep on enlightening others. This is the process as given by Srila Prabhupada. So don't feel, oh, I'm not qualified. By doing so, practice makes perfect. By doing so, by studying, naturally, the urge to give it to others will be put forth, put forward. So this is natural. So Svadhyaya Yaga means, yes, this is just like you're doing some, it's, how can I say, in French, you say ascèse. Ascèse means, it's like an ascetic person, he's going into this ascetic performance or ascetic practice of, so in the same way, studying is like that, you know. Gradually it becomes your second nature. You go through Shastra, you study Shastra, and then you see the world according to Shastra. You may not be a very advanced devotee. We're not advanced devotee, actually. We are practicing. But by seeing through the eyes of Shastra Shakshu, we say, gradually your whole paradigm change. And that's why Prabhupada wanted, actually. A portion of the ISKCON society should deepen the understanding of the Shastra. Remember, Srila Prabhupada spent so many hours throughout the night to not only study himself, but prepare those texts to facilitate our understanding. So it's a great task, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. It was a very arduous journey every night, getting up at 1 or 2, 4 hours, 5 hours, he would translate without any fail every day. So it's only, I mean, it's a great, I mean, token of love, of gratitude in turn to help him out, you know, to just deepen our understanding and also pass it on to others. So I'm very happy that you have this big group there. You know, it's very much enlightening. So if I can be of any help, just let me know. And Arinishta is more than qualified to teach because she herself became certified as a Bhakti Shastri teacher. She went through all the ropes, you know, all the tests and all the things. And I know her well. She's also my student for Bhakti Vibhav. She's quite a seasoned devotee. So, and it's a group work, you know. It's a team. We are on the same team. Not that the teacher is more advanced, but perhaps is more like a facilitator, you know. The teacher is a facilitator. In other words, she's going to facilitate your journey into those 4 books. And remember, those 4 books are meant to pave the way towards Srimad Bhagavatam. Always remember the goal is Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpatalo garitam phalam shukamukadavritadrara sambutam. And Bhagavatam is the last word in Vedic understanding. It is the mature fruit of the desire tree. The Vedic tree, the Vedic literature is compared to a tree, a treasure tree, ripened fruit of the treasure tree. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the last word, the last fruit, the top fruit of the tree. So all these books are meant to bring you, to usher you in towards the Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion. Of course, we don't do the whole Nectar of Devotion. We do, it's called Purva Vibhag, the Eastern Division, the Eastern Ocean, then Shri Upanishad and Upadeshamrit. So I don't want to take your time. I'm very happy to meet all of you, and I'm very impressed by the numbers. You know, when I teach, usually it's less. It's like, you know, 4 or 5 students, but here like 13 or 15. I don't know exactly, but it's quite. It means, you know, we cannot deny that numbers means an overall enthusiasm that you came forward at the same time. So it's especially the first batch. So it's quite laudable, I would say, to see such a big numbers in one go like this. And you are the first batch. So, you know, you are launching something. You're part of history, you know. We are actually living history. We have to understand this movement of Lord Chaitanya is unfolding. Don't think we are just in a remote corner of the world. No, we are part of the upper plan of Lord Chaitanya, you know. This Sankirtan movement will prevail at one point in life. We may not see it in our lifetimes ourselves, you know, but you can rest assured that it's like a tidal wave, you know. It's building up, and one is going to how do you say, to splash over the human society. It's going to be a major transformation. Already it's splashing a little bit, but not much as yet. But this is part of it, you know. We need devotees, we need members who can propagate, who know the philosophy. So this, you are going to be molded into that position of broadcasting the message, you know, the Shastric message, I would say. Hare Krishna. So, do you have any questions or anything you want to share?
Any questions? Not for now.
Okay, great.
Yeah, not for now. Maybe maybe we'll have questions later in the future.
Yeah, sure. I'm
And,
quite impressed by the number of devotees.
well, I'm also, because I was like, Krishna, if you even send one student, I'll be more than happy to start Bhakti Shastri, just even one.
See?
That was my desire, even just one.
So you have
But
been, Krishna reciprocated with you, with your eagerness.
yeah, because this is the instruction of my Diksha Shiksha Guru, and also the GBC here, I recall, he requested me long time back to do that. So I believe it's all mercy of the senior devotees and the desire of the devotees here.
Yeah,
So
wonderful.
thank you very much, Madhavendra Puri
You're
Prabhu.
welcome. You know, anything I can do, let me know.
Yeah, please bless us all.
Well, we are on the same boat. We need each other's blessings. Let's put it this way. Especially, we have to work in a collective manner. This is, Srila Prabhupada was so eager that we don't divide. We work together because we are basically aiming at the same goal, even though we're from different parts of the world, different cultures, different colors. These are just pertaining to the body. But the soul is craving. The soul is craving for reconnection with Krishna, with the Parampara, with Srila Prabhupada. And so it's a beautiful opportunity for you to definitely, grab this opportunity and make yourself glorious by being part of this program, to share and to become Krishna conscious. That's the facilitation towards each other.
Prabhu, Vishnu Prabhu has a question for you.
Yes.
So
Hare Krishna. Beautiful name, huh? Vishnu Prabhu.
So how about
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Vishnu Prabhu, nice name.
Prabhuji, I had this question from a long time. Like I used to read a lot of books of Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
And then after reading for 1 year or 2 years, then I again forget everything. So the one serious point I wanted to ask was, how much of this course is based on practical devotional service so that we understand it easily? And how much is it like theoretical? So how the attitude of the person who is doing the course should be?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I don't know if Harinishta Devidasi already revealed that to you. But I mean, personally, I always teach aims-driven approach. It's an aims-driven approach. So will you do the same approach, Harinishta?
Yes, definitely. This was my part of teaching. Is teachers training course. Yeah.
Yeah. So as she may have already shared with you, I don't know, but perhaps she will. Okay. Yeah. So basically, there's 8 aims. And those aims are divided into 3 categories. The first one is knowledge and recall. So it's perhaps 20%. Obviously, you have to be able to bring knowledge to the forefront. You have to recall whatever you're going to study and learn. This is the page, whatever page, page 5. Yeah. It's called knowledge and recall. So the theoretical aspect, Vishnu Prabhu, is there. That's there, it's content should be there. Obviously, part of driven force of studying is to be able to know what you're studying and to remember, to recall, right? So you're going to have to learn shlokas and to write essays, to also sit for closed book exams, you know. So I would say it amounts to 20% or whatever is written there. I don't know. Then that's knowledge and recall. Then you find skills. Skills is much more practical, like you said, skill. Personal application. How far you're going to have to show in your essay how far this philosophy of Krishna consciousness can help your shortcomings, your weaknesses of heart. So you're going to have to identify, take a particular topic within Gita or whichever book you're studying, and draw out from the book, how do you think you can grow in your Krishna consciousness from a particular angle of the Gita or Shreya or whatever? What does it take for me to address my issues, my weaknesses in my spiritual life? We are fraught with weaknesses, unfortunately, especially in the beginning. So how to address those? So this you're going to discuss in the class amongst yourself. You will gain great insight from the group, because they're all spirit souls in the group. We are spirit souls. So you're going to churn the nectar, how to facilitate one another, how to address your own personal weaknesses. And you're going to have to explicit in your essay how to go about it. What is your action plan to address those weaknesses in the light of the Gita or in the light of the Shreya? You know, then preaching application. Those books should help you to become better preacher. You know, better person and better preacher, better teacher also. Then mood and mission. Mood and mission is another very important aim, skill. It's part of the skills. How far you have understood the mood and the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Why do you think devotees are leaving ISKCON after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? Sometimes you may have seen they may go to a different school, even a different Vaishnava school. So why? Do you think Prabhupada was expecting that some of his devotees would leave one fine morning? So there's a discrepancy, obviously. And it's not a one-off occasion. It's happening in ISKCON for the last so many decades. So mood and mission is important to fulfill that gap. You know, there's definitely a discrepancy there. Why are we losing members, even leaders? So perhaps they didn't understand enough. What is the mood of Prabhupada? What is his intent? Why did he create this ISKCON mission? What is his purpose? So we have to imbibe that mood. This is part of that course. What else is there? Preaching application, personal application, mood and mission. Then you can see further down, it's called the values, Vaishnava integrity, Vaishnava culture, Vaishnava etiquette. All these things are meant also to reinforce which part, what is the greater culture of this movement, ISKCON movement? What is Gaudiya Vaishnavisms? What are the roots of Gaudiya Vaishnavisms? What are our predecessors? Bhakti Siddhanta, Saraswati Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, you know. We have to get to know what is our lineage, what is our heritage. So it's we belong to a very great family, a very aristocratic family. You know, we have to get to know the predecessors. Basically, they're putting forward what we're getting here in ISKCON today is the full force. It's like 52 centuries of very high caliber devotees. They are acharyas, they are all manjaris practically, coming from the spiritual world. So Prabhupada is the last link. He is loaded with, you know, the heritage of the whole parampara stemming from Lord Krishna himself. So this is part of the course also. You should be able to understand how rich is this lineage, how to imbibe the culture behind the philosophy, you know. And I mean, this is the approach of this course is aims driven. It's not only contents. Content is there 20%, you know, we discussed. But overall, it's not only just gaining information, you know, I'm gaining information, I know the Gita by heart. No. How much does it transform your heart? You know, this is the thing. One time, one man told Prabhupada, oh, I know the Gita by heart. I can recite the whole Gita in 45 minutes. Then Prabhupada told him, can you practice 45 minutes? Can you practice the Gita 45 minutes? And the guy was speechless. You know, we're not here just to gain, oh, I know so many shlokas. I know the intricacies of the Gita. How far is going to change our heart? It's a change of heart, basically. So that's why it should be aims-driven, not only contents-driven. Aims-driven. Does it answer, Vishnu Prabhu?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. I'm really thankful for your answer. Thank you for the detailed explanation. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So I think we are good, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you for giving us your precious time, as we are aware that it's very early morning.
Well, it's okay. I'll get to change my rounds early today. So when do you start officially the first lesson and all?
Next Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll discuss because it's our first time meeting.
Okay.
So we decided on Sundays, and after the course they can go to the temple.
Yeah.
And whoever wants to attend the program. Yeah. So here we are. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. And Hare Krishna, as my details, if you want to, you know, to share anything, or she can give you my WhatsApp. No problem. Hare Krishna, all the best, everyone. And I hope we will meet again.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All the best.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Take care. Hare Krishna. Bhagavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so Prabhu left, and yes, so we have Shudanshu online. Shudanshu Prabhu, if you can introduce yourself, let us know about you a little bit in your Krishna conscious journey.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. My name is Sudhanshu Arora. Probably you don't know me, but I know every one of you because I've seen you so many times in the temple, probably on Sunday feast and all the Bhagavad classes, online and in person. Most of the time, I'm in Vancouver throughout the year, but some months of the year I have to spend in Regina. I live in ISKCON Regina temple, and I serve here and I serve in Vancouver. Harinishta Mataji told me that she's starting a Bhakti Shastri course. I was really amazed and I was really encouraged to join the program because I tried joining Bhakti Shastri course about a few months ago, but that was an online course and I was not very comfortable with that. So I wanted someone who can have a personal relationship with me where we can share things and share our realizations and advance together. So it's a very good platform that we all together are here. And as Madhavendra Prabhu said, this is a whole journey where we are starting from an aspect of knowing the philosophy, sharing the philosophy, realizing the philosophy, practicing the philosophy, and most importantly, understanding the mission of Prabhupada and Gaur Mahaprabhu and utilizing our life in such a way that we can be of any help in that mission. Probably this course will help us all. And I don't know, I can't say much about myself, but I joined Krishna consciousness about 2 years ago by reading Bhagavad Gita. Thanks to the book distributors of Winnipeg, where I got a Bhagavad Gita, and I joined ISKCON Vancouver about 2 years ago. Thank you everyone for joining, and please bless me and guide me. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
So Dr. Prabhu also has a YouTube channel with 2 videos on Bhagavad Gita he recently posted.
Is Charandi Prabhu, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare
Would you
Krishna.
like to- Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hi everyone. I am Charandeep. I've been coming to the temple since January, and yeah, I came across ISKCON temple by Google search, and I happened to visit the temple because I wanted some peace and comfort. So, yeah, by the grace of Guru Gauranga, I have a devotee association at ISKCON temple, and I personally know some of you, and yeah, I'm blessed to have these amazing interactions, spiritual interactions, to bring me out of my material desires. So, yeah, and I'm really pleased that I can join this course and learn about the spiritual matters with all of you under the guidance of Harinishna Mataji and Jagunda Prabhu. Yes, that's me. I'm in India currently, but I'm returning end of December. So I hope to see some of you in person, all of you in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very well. Krishna Shanti Mataji, we're just wondering if Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Danvat Pranam. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Danvat Pranam. My name is Krishna Shanti, and it's so nice to see everybody sitting there. But unfortunately, I cannot attend in person. But thanks to Mataji, Harinishta Mataji, for giving me this online option. And I personally don't like Zoom, but now it's like a blessing for me. That I was so sad yesterday when I figured it out. Oh, I cannot attend in person. But Krishna's mercy, Maharaj's mercy, that I'm able to attend the class. And about my spiritual life, I came to ISKCON. Not really. When I was in India, 2007, I moved to Canada, to Vancouver. Before, I used to go to temple every Sunday, but I was, of course, not serious. My sister used to ask me, "No, come, let's go to the temple." I did few services there, but of course, it was all fake one. Obviously, because I wasn't aware that what I am doing. And but when I moved here to Vancouver, my sister gave me Radha Madhav's garland, of course, like Maha. And then when I got it, then of course it worked like magic. And so I slowly I became more serious into Krishna consciousness. And that was my sister gave me one Bhagavad Gita too, but I never opened because I was so busy with my material life. I never opened. But after receiving that Maha garland, so yes, I had that, okay, let's check this out. So I was reading the book, and then this is how I came into Krishna consciousness. And then one day I came to ISKCON Vancouver temple, Barnaby, and so yeah, I finally met Shri Radha Madan Mohan first time in December 2008. And so this is how my journey became. And I am still learning. I want to learn more about everything. So that's why I really wanted to do this course. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I don't know what else I should say.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So, yeah. So we'll go, okay, we had association with very special souls. Okay, now someone very special wants to meet you all and has a special message for you all. So we'll meet this person shortly. Can you go on database online? Yeah. Can you go on database online? And if anybody has your Bhagavad Gita, well, Krishna has something to tell you all. Yeah, he's waiting for you. Huh? Go to database, Bhagavad Gita. Okay, what you do? I'll tell you. Right database. So if you have Bhagavad Gita, let's see what Krishna has the special message for you all today. Yeah, wait a minute. No, just go to database, write Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18.
Yeah, it's already. It's already on the internet.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Okay, go to chapter 18. Verse 70. So let's say
70.
Yes. So let's see what Krishna has to tell you today. Yes.
Special message.
Yes, Krishna has a special message for you all. Because you made this endeavor to come and be with Krishna, because Bhagavad Gita is non-different from Krishna, right? So who would like to read the Sanskrit? Okay, so click on the red one, verse 70. Yeah, if you click on it, yeah. Like 70. Yeah, if you can enlarge. Mataji, you have? Anybody, can you read the Sanskrit verse? Yeah. So let's see what Krishna has to tell you.
Adyashyate chaya imam dharamam sambadam ayayo jnana yajena tenaham ishtasyam iti me matihi. And I declare that he who studies the sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. That's what we're going to be doing.
So,
very pertinent verse indeed.
So Krishna is telling, and as you know, that I mentioned, once we step in as students, we are teachers side by side. Because whatever you leave from here, you can share, you know, directly or indirectly. So you're teaching, you know, we did Bhakti Shastri, we discussed, and someone you feel you can relate to that, you can explain to that instance what we discussed. That's teaching.
That's the best way to assimilate.
Exactly, yeah. Even you can have discussion like me and Shudanshu Prabhu, as I mentioned, we call each other and we are just discussing about Shastra. Mataji, he can tell me why I studied this, I learned this. And this is the best conversation we can have. Otherwise, we have conversation in the mode of ignorance, conversation in mode of passion, or conversation in mode of goodness. But all of them are material. We tend to tell gossip, you know, with gossip, mundane talks. So as when you step in, you're going out with the best conversation you can have with Krishna and others. And now I would like someone to read the 68, verse 68. Okay, I'll read it, and someone can get ready to read 69. Yeah, someone on the Zoom line also can take initiative to read the verse 70. So I'm reading verse 68. Ya idam paramam guyam mad bhaktashev abhidashyati bhakti mai param kritva mam evashyati asamsayaha. For one who explained this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. So see the secret here. We can be doing service. But what Krishna says here, one, he's talking about my glories, he is talking about my conversation. That person can attain pure devotional service. So the secret of attaining, performing pure devotional service is in glorifying, talking about Krishna, talking about the conversation that Krishna has with Arjuna. And this is the verse 69. That verse, Prabhupada, if you go on Vedabase, you're going to find Prabhupada have quoted this verse. Like, I can tell you like 100 times. In his purport in Bhagavad Gita, the verse, click on verse 60, you can go back and click on verse 69. Nacha tashman manusyeshu kaschin me priya kritamaha bhavita na chame tasman anya priya taro bhuve. This verse Prabhupada has quoted in so many of his purport in Bhagavad Gita. Again, he quoted so much this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yet, he still quoted this verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in his conversation, you're going to find it all the time. So let's read the translation. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear to me. So who is that devotee? That devotee is what Krishna said, for one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. At the end, he will come back to me. So this is the message of Krishna to you today. And what I want you to understand, as Madhavendra Puri Prabhu explained, that we are not doing Bhakti Shastri with the aim of content-driven aim. You know what content-driven aim is?
Sorry, I don't.
Content-driven aim.
Oh, okay.
So content is like, okay, I download, memorize, I download all the information in Bhagavad Gita. Oh, I know first chapter,
Data collection.
Yeah, data collection. And many devotees also think this is the success. No. Now devotees have come to realize, but teaching cannot be content driven. Like Madhavendra Puri Prabhu said, one person, he said to Prabhupada, I can chant the whole Bhagavad Gita in 45 minutes. But then Prabhupada was not impressed. So what should be our aim? Forget about content. Content is important.
It's bringing it to our lives every day, every moment, every time you breathe.
Exactly. So what I want, we need to prepare our mindset. If we prepare our mindset to the best, we are going to come in with the best consciousness. And when we are leaving, we will have, to the degree we are attentive, we have a proper mood, we are favorably studying Krishna, Bhakti Shastri, this is what you're going to bring when you go out from here. So what is important is how you prepare your consciousness for that. I want to discuss Bhakti Shastri in a different angle. See, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, even Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's a conversation. They are all conversation. Bhagavad Gita is a conversation of between Krishna and Arjun. And see how the conversation is. Krishna is not in the beginning, he hardly speaks. He is attentively listening to Arjun. And when Arjun is open, like Krishna, okay, wait a minute, I don't want you to be my friend anymore. I want you to be my master. Now instruct me. Then Krishna was giving him all the knowledge. And when Krishna started speaking Bhagavad Gita, Krishna had no idea where that conversation is going to end. The conversation between Krishna and Arjun it was dependent on whom?
Arjuna, how much he wants to listen.
Exactly. Not only how much, but to what degree, to what depth he wants to go in. And at last, at the end, what Krishna says? Iti me mati. After telling everything, he didn't say, okay, Arjun, I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You better do what I said. Never said that. Said, Arjun, that this is my opinion. So that same apply to us. What kind of, the way you open your heart, that way Krishna is going to give you the message. We can be, anybody of us, when we are discussing, Krishna will see as Paramatma in our heart, what you're looking for. And he will use any of us to give you the message. So the work, you need to plow the land of your heart, so that when the knowledge of bhakti, Krishna is going to put the seed, then the seed, the bhakti lata bij will grow. Is it clear? And also what happens when we learn the conversation of Krishna and Arjuna, not just the content, what they said, but the quality of conversation will go gradually. The quality of conversation Krishna had with Arjuna, if we are able to grasp that quality of conversation and imbibe it in our life, then in our every conversation, where you can be conversing with a senior, a junior, or the same, the devotee of the same level as you, or even people outside, Krishna will jump in the conversation. This is how sadhus function, when sadhus come, Maharaj come, everything is about Krishna. Even if they're talking about mundane thing, at the end, you will see, they will fit, Krishna fits in. I was listening to one lecture. There was one person in London came to meet Prabhupada. He was one of the, they drive these sport cars, racing cars. And when he came, Prabhupada never said, okay, so finally you came to me, I'm the spiritual master of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. So here you are, I'm going to tell you about life purpose. So no, Prabhupada started a conversation about car racing and everything. And at last, when the person said, it's also a dangerous sport because you can die. Then Prabhupada said, what happens when you die? Got it. You see? So this is how we have to follow the footstep of Prabhupada, of the acharyas, of our, our senior devotees. So how we can do that is by really trying to grasp the type of conversation, chapter after chapter. How Krishna is going to converse with Arjuna according to the degree of his devotion and inquisitiveness, and also his submissiveness, but most importantly, how much he was attentive to Krishna. And another thing you have to understand, Bhagavad Gita was not given in such a platform. Where was Bhagavad Gita given?
Very intense place, the battlefield, so it's no laughing matter, it's not a Sunday picnic.
Exactly.
It's all very, very great and
And-
serious.
yeah.
Life was at stake for all of them there.
Yeah.
It cannot be any more serious.
And where was exactly the battle? Yeah.
Also a pilgrimage place.
Yes, very good. And where exactly the location?
In the center.
Very good. In the center.
In the center.
Where
It was in between both.
Okay.
Yes. Arjuna said, Krishna, bring my chariot in the middle.
I wanted to see the chorus. I want to see one
Yes.
fighting there.
And you can be in battlefield. We can visit Kurukshetra. It's a battlefield. Yeah. But that time, was it just a battlefield? No, there was war to start. Just imagine the tension that Arjun had to go through. And he was one of the most important person in the battle. And at that time, was there justified reason for Krishna to be distracted? Yes. Can anybody tell that Arjuna was a person who was not busy, who didn't have responsibility at that time? He was a king. He had all this knowledge. He has a family. Yet at that instance, Krishna told Arjuna was ready to submissively listen to Krishna. So we cannot have excuses. We cannot say it's not important to us, or we have what excuse can we have that can be worse than the situation of Arjuna? There's a reason for everything why Krishna chose this situation. So if Arjuna, it was important for Arjuna to listen to Bhagavad Gita, well, what about us? And for all 45 or 46 minutes, it's not, what we hear, that Bhagavad Gita, the conversation lasted for 46 minutes, and Krishna listened. Arjuna was in rapt attention. So we need to create that mood. Everybody, when we are coming, we have a lot going on in our life. Life is tough for everybody. So if we are conscious, okay, we know life is tough. When we step this door, we keep our loads and we tell, okay, now it's my meeting with Krishna. Krishna has a conversation with me. So this is how we are going to get the most benefit. And this session today is more about preparing our consciousness. So what I will do, I will request you all, if you go through Bhagavad Gita, can you show the PowerPoints now?
Yeah.
So Mangalacharan, please, next Sunday when we are meeting, please go through the Mangalacharan.
Run the database.
Sorry, I'm not going to open the Veda base. So Mangalacharan is all the prayers from Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana. I'll give you the Bhagavad Gita.
It's in the introduction. Beginning of the.
I'm not thinking of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finish everything.
So beginning from the, yeah. So beginning from the introduction, We have quite a few pages. Don't think introduction is not important. Introduction, you know.
Can you
So
say how, can you spell what you called it?
that's
Like Mongol.
Yeah.
you will see it on the screen. Okay, you see Mangalacharan. Introduction includes Mangalacharan, and we have 69 paragraphs. There is subsection about the different topics that Prabhupada has mentioned. So what's happening? I'll give you a little example in introduction. When Krishna was speaking Bhagavad Gita, you know, when he presented himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, almost after the 6th chapter. In the beginning, Krishna didn't show his supremacy. He didn't reveal bhakti. He didn't reveal devotion. But you know what Prabhupada did? In the introduction itself is sufficient for someone to become a devotee. You know why? Prabhupada felt it's urgent to give bhakti. He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait, because what if he leaves the body? What if the person who started reading Bhagavad Gita, he's on chapter 1, and somehow he couldn't come to the section of bhakti and he leaves his body. So Prabhupada, right in the beginning, he gives you, you know, sometimes you have like a coconut. You have to get all the hard part, the shell, then you get the cream. Yeah? But what Prabhupada did, he gave us a coconut introduction, which is a coconut, which right from the outside, it's all creamy and the essence of the coconut. We don't bypass introduction, don't underestimate introduction. And this is where we'll see there's 3 things to receive from studying. First is sambandha. We are going to establish relationship. So Prabhupada is going to explain in the paragraph first the spirit of Bhagavad Gita, and then purpose of Bhagavad Gita. So for now, we have, you know, about Sambandha Gyan, Abhidheya and Prayojana. Sambandha is you're acquiring knowledge. Suppose me and Malika, we develop friendship. Now I'm going to learn about her. She's going to learn about me. And then what will happen? We'll establish a relationship. That's Abhidheya. And Prayojana, and what is the goal? Is enjoy each other's association. So Bhagavad Gita is also like that. For now, we are on the Sambandha Gyan. We are developing relationship. Spirit, that's about knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Spirit of Bhagavad Gita, purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Then we'll know about the 5 truths. 5 truths we'll know about the truth about Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti. Ishvara means yes, very good. And Kal is time, and Karma, very good. So that's knowledge. We are still on Sambandha Gyan. Right now we are still developing relationship with Bhagavad Gita, the song of Krishna. And then will still be the 5 subject matters. These are all knowledge. I'll go very quickly. we can discuss that. I'm just helping you to prepare yourself for the next class. This is also knowledge.
So are we doing all of these things next week?
We'll start doing. We see how it go. We are not rushing into anything. Yeah. So you read the introduction.
You want us to read the introduction?
Yes. Read
Like
and
1 to 12.
the introduction, you see the pages. I mean, you read as we will not finish introduction. I'll finish introduction in 2 sessions. Because once you understand introduction, how we call in the movies, they have this trailer. So, yeah, so you get the whole picture of what you are waiting for. So we'll end here. It's already 7. We'll try to end on time. And
For next week, then, Mata, just read the introduction, or do you want us to memorize the Mandala Charna as well, or let's just go over it?
you can go over it. Whoever wants to memorize, this is for you.
I would suggest just make notes, right? That to me, I think if I make my notes, I can tell you.
I already have it memorized, but I just wanted to be sure what they needed for next week.
Yeah. So make a breakdown. If you know it all.
So
That's just for next week, just read the introduction sort of.
yeah. And whatever you have realization or something bring, we'll share. Yeah. So thank you very much. Any question on the Zoom line?
So your slides on the topics and so forth, will you use those as you go through? Or like, because I feel like when, seeing them and then they just kind of rush through.
Yeah.
It stresses me out. Like I need to have time.
Oh, no, I saw what you're doing. That was, for me, it was just a glimpse for you to read introduction.
Okay.
When we'll discuss the introduction, I just gave you an idea how introduction is subdivided.
Okay.
Yeah. Any question from the Zoom line? No.
No,
Okay.
Mataji, all good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We meet next Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, everyone.